got my main man with me, Zerky Langs. He goes by so many names, but let's just keep it simple. Zerky Langs. What's good, Max?
Ladies and gentlemen, what's good? What's happening? Murphues, how far now? Good evening, first of all. So, you know how it is. My Wakilako is my name, aka Zaki Langs for props. You know how it is. They call me the video plug, aka the energy guard. If you can speak French, they call me Dodo Energy. Some of my friends call me Razak Nati. My best friends call me the favorite son of the lion of the tribe of Judah. Ladies and gentlemen, it's graffiti right here on Invicta FM. A lot of surprises. It's like Christmas because we have gifts in our boxes. And you know how to do it right here. Santa is here because Mayo is here. That's what's up. Get it?
Alright, it is what it is. All we need you guys to do is just lay back, relax, and he's trying to bring out a lot more value from just having passion about something. So he's a young one. I would like to call him a young one. But he's doing great things that a lot of old men cannot even start imagining. Let's start it that way.
Word.
Okay. So he is a multifaceted man, but let me, for today, for this conversation, let's just limit his broad portfolio to he is a dancer, a dance instructor, a dance coach. Look, he's a dance orga. Is that another way to put it?
A boss in the dance
A boss in the dance.
gatekeeper in the dance industry.
May your days be long.
Hallelujah.
Thank you very much. He's a gatekeeper of dance here in Kaduna and Nigeria at large. If you are in one way or the other, if you dance, let's bring it to KD, and you know Sabiam will ask you a question. The exports that we've seen from Kaduna to the world that have represented Kaduna in terms of dance, check their bio.
Yeah.
One way or the other, this man has influenced them in so many ways. He has a dance school as well. What else again? See, everything dance. He has a dance house. Dance ministry. So, as long as it's dance, he basically uses dance to express himself. He basically uses dance in terms of capacity building and youth development and beyond. He goes by Mr. Funsho Olokeshusi.
Yeah, that's it.
Hallelujah. Funsho Olokeshusi.
That's the first miracle today.
Hallelujah. All right, but he's popularly known as Kochi. Kochi, it's a pleasure having you here today, man.
So good to be here.
Kochi, how... That question will come later. Let's just get straight into it. Dance. How did you find yourself with dance?
I saw someone
dance.
dance. I saw someone dance. I went to a concert and I saw someone dance. That's 2002. And really, the guy blew my mind because I just felt that Kaduna is just a place I was always feeling I was above the waters. Growing as a child, I would go to a place and I would just look down on everybody. It's not like I just felt that they didn't have what I wanted to do. I just felt I was different. So that was the first time I saw someone blow my mind. It humbled me.
You were humbled?
I was humbled.
Were you seated when you were humbled?
No, I was standing, so I had to sit down. Ibrahim Suleiman.
Okay.
We call him Captain Quest.
Okay.
It was a concert by YWAP. So I saw the guy, I said, man, I love this and I must do this.
All right.
That's the first time.
All right. So, what we do here on Graffiti is basically around hip-hop culture, music, all of that.
Yes.
And there's literally no music without dance and vice versa. No dance without music.
Without music.
Because even if you want to say there's no music playing, you're dancing to a melody in your mind.
Yeah.
That melody can still be attributed to music at the end of the day. So two of them are intertwined and the same thing at the end of the day. Now, for hip-hop music, the culture has its own kind of dance. It's called breakdance, it's called so many things, b-boying, b-girling, and whatnot. And it's something that you brought to KD on your own. You had something last week called Deuces, where you brought J-Town to Kaduna. And I witnessed it. And I'm not going to lie, you humbled me the same way Suleiman humbled you. Me too, I was humbled. I was humbled not because of just what I saw, but because I had a decent level of what was going on the back end. So I have to give you kudos for that one.
Thank you.
I really don't know how you do it. I really don't know who they give you mind or how you get your mind, but that you're doing it, thank you very much. We appreciate you. On behalf of Kaduna, even the people that don't know you, we appreciate you. So walk us through breakdance. What is breakdance? What was it? What's the origin? Okay, we heard that it originated from the black community in the United States sometime in the late 70s thereabout, but you know better, so please school us.
One of the elements of hip-hop is breakdancing.
Yes.
And while I was setting up my school and building the syllabus, I had to make sure
I do a lot of research to make sure I have information and I can trickle it down to what they understand. Because for me, I do visuals. I just don't want people to read the theoretical thing. I don't want to have a dance school and it to look like Wikipedia or Google. I wanted a situation where if you come to the school, you have practical knowledge. So that was where my love for the hip-hop culture started. I began to find out about the history of hip-hop and black people all generally. And I found out that the black culture has a lot to do with the entertainment industry and human psychology. Basically, people want to express themselves. And generally, dance, all the genres of dance has more to do with expression than to impress.
Yes.
If you see, yes, it has to do more with expression. Okay. And by the time people put us more as just entertainers, they try to put us in that box where we just have to impress them. So you dance and people are waiting for a round of applause. Okay. I don't think we need more rounds of applauses. I think we need more battle rounds. Okay. Yes, that opportunity to express yourself. And that's what the streets did to hip-hop. You know, all of those fathers, you know, Bambata and all that, they have young people around the street corners and they try to make sure that these young people express themselves. A while ago, I know you understand that there's a dance style that was created called crump. Yep. Yeah. You know, crump like took breakdancing further because it's more of expression of aggression. Extreme aggression. Extreme aggression. You want to break something, you want to, you know, but breakdancing is more technical because... Please walk us through the technicality. Okay, for breakdancing, there are different styles. There are different styles of breakdancing. You know, you have the top rock, you have the floor walk, you have the freezes. All of these things are elements of breakdancing. And by the time we begin to work with these principles, they are something that you keep. They are principles that don't change. And when you see dance begin to take that tune, it means it has come to stay. Yeah. It's sustainable. One of the problems I have with our Nigerian dances and with promoting Nigerian dances, I feel that we are careless about our Nigerian dances because it's too open-ended. You know, so people feel that with the Nigerian dance, Afrobeats particularly, you can just do anything. That freedom of expression is we're no longer having principles and rules to it. When you're teaching Afrobeat, you tell you what's the arm position. Say anyhow you want to do it. Basically, it's just the idea behind this dance is for you to act like a chicken. The idea behind that dance is just to act like someone is spraying you. The idea behind this, I think it's wrong. You know, I think the hip hop culture has been able to, or breakdancing particularly, has been able to tell you that I want to build your musicality. So when a breakdancer is vibing, he has something called the funk. Yep. You know, he can feel the beat. And hip hop dance is more about spontaneity. Yeah. So the elements marry themselves. The guy is doing graffiti, another guy is rapping spontaneously, somebody is scratching the wheels, and the breakdancer begins to understand that these elements have to be put on music. You know, and that's why sometimes, even in the breakdance battle, there's a way you will hit a beat, and it's called a kill-off. Definitely. It means that, no, don't contest this guy has won you. The crowd alone will tell you. Everybody is involved, you know. So breakdancing has that ability to bring people together for that expectation. What football can do, you know. Yeah. As compared to other forms of dance, if we're talking about entertainment or presenting on stage, there's already an expectation. Everybody just seated straight watching your performance when you're through a round of applause, you know. So that's why for me, I just feel that I should promote the hip hop culture, especially in my own field. And if you notice, every event I put out, I still try to highlight the other parts of hip hop. I want rappers to come. I want DJs to come. You know, and that's how it works for me. Also another thing that you're pushing as well. I'm pushing very well because it comes naturally. Yeah. Hip hop is about influence, and that's why if you see when the government want to curb crisis, they target influential leaders. Yeah. These are community leaders. With the hip hop culture, we have community leaders. You see, I think it's even gone. This influential people thing, this approach of working influential people thing, is now even beyond the government. Anything you want to promote, just look for the right people that have the ears and the minds of the populace and their culture. Like when you were talking about earlier, when you were talking about music and Nate Dogg and everything, what just came to my mind is a lot of times we think that when we look at music and we say we want to promote music, Nigerian music, we focus too much on language, but sometimes we don't focus on style. And that's what the hip hop culture will bring to you. It will focus on styles, you know. So you know that this is West Coast, this is East Coast, this is their style of presentation. This is ATL. Good. I feel that music industry can be sold. We have more economic value if we're able to identify a style that comes to us naturally. Have you identified a style? Yes, I have. Please talk to us about that. And I boldly put it out there. What's your style called? For me, it's more about, it's not about the presentation. Okay. It's about the process. So I look at character. more than I'll look at the performance and the presentation.
Okay.
Yes, that's what happened in the battle. You notice that naturally the crowd were more drawn to the people that had more perseverance, people that had unity. These things are already found out while we were preparing for the battle. You know, so there's a lot of rules around pressure. We just tell you that, okay, the judges will say, okay, let's see how you can do this. Like during the battle, somebody came up with props. And in the rules, we didn't really mention out if there were props or not. So we called for a negotiation. That was spontaneous. And that's why Juice was left open-ended, but not without a goal. I didn't want it to be a place where we'll be in discipline and feel that we don't have a goal. So I wrote the 3 goals and said, it's open-ended. Everybody can come. Let's build this community together and let's let Juice grow. But every act of indiscipline was punished. So if we're going to do music and we say we're hip-hop, for instance, I'm in Kaduna and I want to do hip-hop music in Kaduna. If we've identified a style that naturally Kaduna rappers can go with and music can go, let us hold it and push it. But for us, if we say we want to push northern music, our concept is to put outside there. And we say that is a way to push northern music. No, not literally. Style is very important, and that's what you see with the hip-hop culture, you know.
Kochi, I have more questions for you, but they will come up after this commercial break.
All right.
In case you just tuned in, it is the official hip-hop radio takeover, coming to you only on the victorious Saturday Live on the radio in Invicta FM 98.9. Kochi's in the building. Zaki Lanks is in the building.
Taking lectures, though.
All right.
Right.
So stay with us and make sure, my people, that nothing, absolutely nothing interferes with your music. And I was listening and I was interested, but I want to bring this to you because you work with quite a number of youths.
Yes.
You house them, you feed them, you clothe them. I don't know how you do it, why you do it, but like I said, you be mad. Move beyond that. Let's move beyond that. Now, you have a lot of parents right now will be listening and they might be wondering, okay, fine, why would I today support my child if my child develops the passion for dancing? Is there any value in dancing beyond just seeing what it is? Because let me relate this to music now. In recent time, producers, songwriters have been benefiting from accolades and whatnot. They're being recognized. Let's even leave it that way. But dancing is something that, in my opinion, but please correct me if I'm wrong, in my opinion, is still struggling to get out there and get the recognition that it deserves. So, walk us through why you feel, or in your, like, let's see, if it is, dancing today, is it something that you would advise anybody to go in? If so, why?
You know, basically for dancers, it's very difficult to measure productivity from dance, from being paid.
Okay.
For this, it's very, very difficult to do that. A lot of times I get this direct question and I feel it's a trap.
It's not a trap.
No, that's how I feel.
Okay, don't feel trapped.
When people
I'm
ask
not
me,
trapping you.
You know, I feel people are actually, when they ask me that question, they want to know what my secret is. They want to know how I'm able to live afloat.
Okay.
By dance, using dance as an income. And I believe that we're not ready for that yet, to know my ways.
I am. That's why you're here.
Okay, maybe I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
But to answer your question, if you're asking if it's a viable venture, if it's a profitable venture, it depends on your approach to it. A lot of times parents say things like, why should I support my child dancing? And I try to find out what they mean by support. Because for now, what parents do as support is to permit. That's not support.
Okay.
If you want to sponsor your child to be a dancer, you have to sponsor the child. And I don't have that. So that answers the reason why I pick up the role of a parent.
So now let me move further into this question. Still on you and still on your moves. We're talking about this support and we're talking about it from another angle of sponsor. Koba, you have a dance school.
Okay.
How have parents in Kaduna reacted towards, because the word is out there, we know about your dance school. So, but I want to look at it from, as a school, Kochi, you're not just there to impact knowledge, you're not just there to help develop character and, you know, all of those things. No, you're also it's also a business. Correct?
For me, the last thing I did was to open the school.
Yes.
The first thing I started working on was to create the economy.
The economy.
For the dancers to thrive. It's a sustainable thing.
Now, that's that economy. It's that economy that I'm coming to, which I was going to ask you about. You know, in this school now, how have you fared? And you know, now you mentioned economy. Please.
When I say I've been dancing for 19 years, a lot of people think I've been on stage for 19 years.
What do you mean?
I've been on stage for 8 years or so. but I had to get off stage so that I can sustain the stage. There are jobs around dance that is not about dancing.
Enlighten us.
So when I opened a school, the reason for the school is to make the spectrum broader. And you have to educate parents. For a long time, my mother would come to concerts and say, beautiful concert, I saw the dancers, but I didn't see you. Why didn't I see you? You're supposed to show yourself. I want to show my friends that you're a dancer. I want to take a video of you, you know. What about the place of the choreographer? What about the place of the director? What about the place of the dance educator? What about the dance therapist? There's so many professions connected to dancing. We have dance sports. For 5 years or so, I was the national coach for dance. How? We had to go through cheerleading. Cheerleading is linked to the National Federation of Sports, and they needed us to create a cheer team. So we created an association. We had dancers that were also mature enough to understand that we should take advantage of entertainment sports. So we left that display, go on stage, we had a nice time, vibrate. And we began to look at it from a more organized structure, where we have coaches, we have assistant coaches. We went to Samka, we went to South Africa, we went to get trained, we went to understand the concept of cheerleading. We wrote to the International Cheer Union. We brought 3 resource people to Nigeria. We did a camp in Abuja. We trained them. The government gave us a lot of money. We had about over 30 million naira. I had to make sure that most people in Kaduna come. For me, that's the real investment. But you won't believe that the greatest pain I've had in my career was from that training, because I took a lot of people from Kaduna without making them understand. They didn't really want it enough for sustainability. They wanted it for fun. Okay. Yeah, so we see people put parents in a place where parents think they've sacrificed much only for the dancers to go play. So I knew that I had to put myself out there to first of all build up a sustainable system. When I found out that there are jobs around these things like dance educator, like therapist, like fitness instructor, all around the dance thing, I now opened the school and focus more on the younger generation. Because most of the old people had a difficulty coming to relearn or unlearn what they've learned and relearn. But for me, the greatest joy I have and reward I have for my profession now are the parents that pay their children's school fees to come to my school, to learn to also be teachers. I do a train-the-trainer program where the system self-sustains. It's like a circle. You come to my school, you pay your school fees, I train you, I bring you up to be a teacher. You can dance and perform. All of these other ways to make money. By the time you look at them, you now become like multiple streams. I don't receive alerts from only performances. So come your performance or not, I have inflow of cash because there are other sectors that I've been able to mine out of dance. You know, people specialize. Some people in my school say they want to be fitness instructors. So what do? We look at aerobics. We're not trying to wage a war against going to the gym, but we're saying, what can dancing do that the gymming can offer? What other value can you get from dancing? People tell you that one of the reasons why they don't want to gym is that it is stress. It's a psychological thing. Dancing looks like fun. It looks like you're playing. But the same purpose you achieve with the gym, you can achieve through dance. And by the time people start seeing results, more clients will come. You know, stuff like that. So we have various sectors, various things you could do as a dancer, professional dancer. You could teach. There are many schools that employ dance teachers. Some of them part-time, some of them full-time. And if these people are not certified, they are not trained. I used to tell my students, I certified you doesn't mean you should be satisfied.
Say that again, please.
The fact that I certified you doesn't mean you should be satisfied.
So what should they do?
They should keep growing. They should keep learning. We have various courses, advanced courses. In fact, information is just everywhere today. And if you are good at what you're doing and you can show that consistency, you'll be shocked how much people want to pay you to come. I'm traveling to Lagos soon. I have a workshop. It's because of knowledge, experiential knowledge. You know.
So I'd like to put something further to you. We're here in Kaduna. Kaduna is home to our home for now. From your experience, what would you say the Kaduna people or the Kaduna community or the Kaduna folks, how or what would you say their level of appreciation or their level of understanding of the dance? That's one. Two, your mindset, your movement, trying to put dance through Kaduna on the map through dance. How would you say Kaduna people have worked with you, generally speaking? That's the Kaduna dance community, parents, whatnot. What's your take?
For me, it's been...
You can say it as it is.
Recently, it's been encouraging.
Before?
But before it wasn't.
Please enlighten us. Walk us through before and recently.
Before now, I think for the dancers, the people that naturally you feel that should identify with you, be proud of you and all that, for them it was more of, I also can do it. You know, I should come up with my own brand and all of those things. So some of my initial moves were more of, some people perceived it wrongly, Like maybe I was trying to put them under me and all that. So I allowed it happen. It's part of the growth process to have a lot of brands that do similar stuff, you know. And for me, naturally, I just reinvent myself. So for me, I feel that I'm the pathfinder in Kaduna. And if I don't leave a path, people cannot come into that path.
Okay.
So I have a policy, personal policy of non-compete. I don't compete with the people I raise or train. For me, I just create that space, widen up the scope, leave it for them at that level to begin to thrive. There are some jobs that I will leave, I will turn down, that will be a big miracle to some of my prodigies because they never saw it from that aspect or that dimension. But what I will fight against anytime, any day, is for us not to be ethical in our practice. I will say that, I will vocalize it, I will show it, you know. But the greater part for me, for Kaduna, is the recent identification with dance, especially with people registering their non-dance children to say, I want you to have a knowledge of dance. I want you to go to school. And I see people coming to my school, I see people rushing to my school to register. And the sweet part is, I'm not the only one making this fit. I had the people that have institutions all over Kaduna to having the same feel, the same vibe. So there are some things that I do for the community, that I do for the professional practice. Some other things I do for Kaduna as a whole. Okay. Because I'm happy to be invited by many states, to consult for many states. And by the time I go work in other states, I hear things like, just stay back. You know, this place is better for you. Kaduna is holding you down. But I beg to differ. I feel my mission
I hear that a lot.
It's for
but
the
how does
entire
that make you feel?
It makes me feel good because
That Kaduna is holding you back. Like you hearing that Kaduna is holding you back. Please, let's digress a bit. Let's address that.
I understood your question.
The creative industry, for we who are in the creative industry, I hear it time and time again, Baba come off for Kaduna. So thank God there's no limit that is hearing it.
It's not just
you want you to hear him. But how does that make you feel? Because
ironically, it makes me feel good.
Why?
Because they can identify with equality. Even though some of them have a superiority complex towards Kaduna. They feel that Kaduna is not a place anyone should stay and all that. But I beg to differ.
There are still people in this day and time that will tell you, look, let me use BAM as an example.
Yes.
I've had some potentially great conversations but they were great in the beginning.
Because the Kaduna popped up.
No, I'm serious. Look, my brother, I already started typing my the proposal with the account number based on a new investor or something like that. But the second my mouth uttered the word Kaduna, everything went
Let me
down
tell you
the
something.
drain.
Let me just to encourage you. Nobody buys a cow without breasts. Yes.
Okay.
Because they want to milk the cow.
Okay.
Kaduna is a bakery. It depends on your focus and it depends on what gives you fulfillment. I believe that as a businessman, as a creative, nobody's limiting your business to other states as far as delivery is concerned. If you want my company to come perform, if you want my company to come deliver, we will deliver. But if I say I choose Kaduna to be my base, and it's because Kaduna has that nomenclature for training, I think it's okay to be in Kaduna. For me, I want to broaden my scope to the north. There are people in the north that we definitely get discouraged today if I relocate out of the north. I'm doing it for them. I feel that we've not gotten enough of the north yet. When you sit in Kaduna, you may be deceived or you may just feel that Kaduna is just the only place. And that's one of the reasons why I pushed this competition
Local
against Kaduna and
mentality.
Jos. Yes. When Jos came in, I found out that these guys are living ahead of their location. Most of them had gone to different battles in Lagos, in Ghana, different places. And it informed their mentality. So when they came back to Jos, they said, we're in Jos, but we're not of Jos. We don't want to be limited by how people see us in Jos. If you want to weigh yourself by what people prize you, it means that you will not, if you have you seen somebody selling bread in the bakery?
Outside the bakery.
You must sell bread outside the bakery. Nobody will buy bread in the bakery.
Yes.
So that's that. I've chosen to use that analogy for a long time. If somebody in Kaduna is underpricing me, then I take my market to where they will pay me. But it doesn't mean everybody should just jump out and relocate out of
But
Kaduna.
now, Coach, this is where I said that question, or that statement, why it did touch me for wrong
Say,
places
you
sometimes.
know they're the right place.
Exactly. No, you know the reason why is, you know how you're talking about taking the bread out of the bakery and whatnot. But let's look at it from another perspective.
Okay.
If you're not celebrated at home, where you're coming from, selling yourself out in a lot of instances is almost impossible.
Yeah.
So how do you handle situations like that, especially with dance?
With dance, I ever since I noticed that my niche is training, I set up a standard to adopt students.
Okay.
For me, the first standard is people that are hungry for what I have to give. So that in itself is a very strong way of influence. I don't want to say it on air. I know a lot of people under you, Murphues, directly under you. They may say they are working with you. You can call them brothers or colleagues, but they are your students. And that's the first value system variable that keeps you and sustains you. I have biological children. And by the virtue of the fact that I am their hero, I know that one day my song will be sung by my children. So the first thing I did was to withdraw myself from the stage. That's why I've always said I'm a backstage person. Very few people ask for the coach. Very few people ask for the coach.
No. Now who do that move?
You know, that kind of thing. You know. So for me, I just focused on dance education. And that for me has been my strength and my go-back place.
Now, you know, now I want to relate something about BAM. BAM, we are using basketball to tap into education.
Good.
And you've mentioned, dancing with schools and having affiliations with schools. But I'd like to hear, for KD schools now like this, how interested are the schools in terms of dancing? And how do I put this? But my point is, working with
How
schools.
open-minded are they to
Okay,
the idea of dance?
To the idea of dance. We dancers, let me say this. I'll give it for free. You know, I'm so conscious of consulting now, so I don't give out a lot of things for free. Yeah. A lot of times dancers, because of our disposition, we're excited people. So because of that excitement, when we have audience with people, we sell ourselves. You can't sell that way.
Okay.
One of the secrets of selling dance is that you sell dance as a tool to promoting people's views, their visions, their dreams. There's no school you go to that you express to them that you can make their children, their kids, better dancers, better performers, that will not buy your idea. So for us with the schools, we are improving their syllabus. Every school should have space for extracurricular activities. If you say there's no space for dance, I will look for something you are doing that dance can augment with better results, with proof. I've not seen dancers go to schools and tell them things like, you know what, don't pay me for a while. Young people don't have that wisdom. Everybody feels that, the creative feels that this is the way to bring value is to say, how much do they pay? Talk to my manager, talk to my director.
Especially our
Nobody argues with results.
Over time, yeah.
Nobody argues with results.
I'll hold you to that statement. Nobody argues with results. This whole idea for me, I feel that we can have a genuine economy-driven society around dance, where people can actually pay bills from dancing, where people can, because if you come to, I'm not even going to phone. Let me give an example. DIA performs with your dancers quite a number of times, and when we're having negotiations for Uncle DIA's performances, sometimes I will hear some amount, and I'll be like, but wait, why do you want him to perform? Like, no, those is dancers, and I said, so those is dancers now, like,
there's no budget for them.
How do they, like, do you, so a lot of times. And let me tap into another thing. Just yesterday, I was having a conversation with someone who is about to get married. And I tried my best to restrict the airflow of one of my DJ friends so that he could give me, like, a Murphues Rhymes price.
Rebate.
And I was more than happy. I conveyed the message to my guy. My guy was like, for DJ, I didn't know when I changed it for him. For DJ, like the way he said it, how about bros? For DJ. So that's that value that I'm trying to put out here about dance. A lot of people don't see value in dance. A lot of people don't honestly see a future. Yes, in dance. They don't think that anything can come out of dance. It's just, have fun.
You know, I told you I'm on a project. Okay. And it's been for 10 years. What I wanted to do, I think I've gotten to the stage where I have to move to the next phase of my building. I wanted to do individual projects where I build individuals. And I think I've been able to do that. I didn't want to let the cat out of the bag because I believe that people no one argues with results, like I said. I have people that have trained in different cities, you know, and also to, you know, I can't run away from what you asked me directly about the city and support. So they are doing well, but they're no longer in this city. So it's almost like I'm producing and exporting, you know. So we're now building communities. That's why we have the dues by Kochi. We have community projects where we begin to say, okay, you know, come as you are as a community, and let's begin to analyze you based on what you have. We bring people from other communities to challenge you. Like what has happened between Kaduna and Jos is in no way to spite Kaduna, but to make them sit up, because I want to do something bigger. So in the nearest future, you're going to see other states coming to Kaduna City. We're going to see bigger battles. We're going to see championships. You know, we're going to have me do programs on air. I want to talk about dance more. I want to relate dance to the ordinary man. One of the reasons why, let me just give you a punchline. Dancers have been too invisible for too long. We don't want to be invisible no. Like literally, we're there, but nobody sees us.
What?
Yeah, So I want to connect dance to the ordinary man. I want to the ordinary man. Some of these things that we think that other brands do that don't matter, they're actually what sells the brand. If you look at musicians, their music. I did music psychology for a while, and I realized that music that can relate to people sell more. Simple hooks, simple lines, people can narrate the lines and sing it. But sometimes some people from deep hip-hop cultures will tell them, I'm doing hardcore hip-hop, and nobody can hear what you're saying, and all those kind of
people
things.
Can't relate to
They can't relate to it. So I want dance to be more relatable. I want to talk to the mother. I want to teach her how to bond with her kids by dancing. I want to talk to the father. I want to tell him to dance for his children. As little as put his hand on his waist and shaking his waist twice, how he can relate to that child's confidence and, stuff like that. I don't want to make dancing all about the children coming on stage. I want to do a father-daughter dance, a mother-son dance, all of those kind of things. So in the nearest future, that's what you're going to be seeing. But I'm going to connect more to culture. I want to sing to Kalangu. I want to dance to Molo. I want to dance to things that people have not related to before.
Okay. Please, on behalf of BAM, we want to humbly request that you bring your cheerleaders. Come and give us band cheerleaders. Let's discuss modalities of
people here.